All right, word from the Vatican this morning. Pope Francis will not be able to lead his followers at services opening the Christian season of Lent next week. The Vatican is making other plans, I guess, is what it's trying to say in the teleprompter, for Wednesday, Ash Wednesday. But the Pope is said to be making continued progress in his fight against double pneumonia. CBS News foreign correspondent Chris Livesay joins us now from Rome to talk more about this. Chris, a lot of people were hoping that the Pope's condition was improving. Doesn't sound great that he's not going to be able to lead next week, specifically for Ash Wednesday. So what is that backup plan?
Yeah, so bad news for people expecting to see Pope Francis for Ash Wednesday. That's the event kicking off the Lenten season leading up to Easter. But overall, it's still good news for Pope Francis coming from Vatican sources that he continues to improve. We found out today that he's mixing high-flow oxygen with lower flow oxygen, and that all goes back to this weekend when he had that prolonged respiratory crisis, something of an asthma attack that required high flow oxygen, even blood transfusions. So to hear that they're winnowing him off of that high flow oxygen is a very good sign. Nevertheless, he's still an 88-year-old man with double pneumonia, and he only has 1.5 lungs because of a condition he suffered as a young man back in the 50s when he had to have part of a lung removed. So he's definitely not out of the woods. His prognosis is still reserved or guarded, meaning doctors still can't predict if he's going to get better or worse. But at least in the last 2 weeks that he's been hospitalized, we are seeing some slight improvements, Vlad.
All right, Chris, as you perhaps know, this morning, Vice President JD Vance responded to the Pope's recent criticism about the Trump administration's immigration policy. I want to play some of that.
The Holy Father, Pope Francis, has criticized some of our policies when it comes to immigration. I think it's incumbent upon our religious leaders to recognize that in the era of social media, people will hang on every single word that they utter, even if that wasn't their intention, and even if a given declaration wasn't meant for consumption in the social media age.
All right, he qualified his remarks by saying he's been praying, J.D. Vance has, for the Pope every day. What do we think of what the Vatican is going to make of that? A politician, how unheard of, a politician who uses their faith and wears it on their sleeve to win votes is all of a sudden upset that the religious leader of said religion takes umbrage to policies that they believe to be not in the full faith of that said religion.
Yeah, if I had to guess, I would wager that the Vatican isn't going to comment on it more, especially while Pope Francis is in the hospital. Of course, Pope Francis understands the value of social media. He's on X, in fact, in several languages, English, French, Spanish, etc. He's also on Instagram. He's done more with social media than any of his predecessors. But in addition to that, if you want to talk about followers, he has 1.4 billion of them in the Catholic Church. I think he's used to people hanging on his every word, and I don't think it was any mistake that Pope Francis would comment on immigration. It's something that's very dear to his heart. When he was first named Pope in 2013, the very first papal trip he went on was to the island of Lampedusa in southern Italy, very close to the Middle East, close to Tunisia, specifically to talk to migrants and refugees during the refugee crisis that was raging in the aftermath of the wars in Iraq and Syria. So I don't think Pope Francis was reckless in his comments, or let me say, I don't think he thought he was being reckless in those comments. I think Pope Francis knew exactly what he was doing by commenting on the Trump administration's immigration policy. Vlad.
I mean, I would agree that that's probably accurate, Chris, given that this Pope has used social media ever since conclave. So the fact that a young vice president is lecturing a Pope about the use of social media, hey, Grandpa, be careful of what you tweet. People may take umbrage with that. I think it's pretty funny. All right, Chris Livesay for us at the Vatican. Good to talk to you this morning, my friend. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Vlad.